But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.
Hey everyone, welcome to CVRcade Open Racing for Thursday Zone T. Tonight we're doing things a little different. We're having the tracks that are going to be raced in the World Cup on Saturday. Have a little bit of practice with the open racing. People are going to be on controller. I think I see one person riding physically, and then I know there's someone that's going to be on keyboard as well. So we're going to be in for a lot of fun tonight. Hopefully a lot of crashing. You know, we always root for that. Hopefully we have that tonight. The first race we have, or the first map we have coming up in the Omnium, is 5 laps of Kayla's mountain track. She's not in here. Hopefully she joins at some point because I know her and Frank have a battle going on all the time to see who's better. And maybe she just doesn't want to choke again based on what Frank says. I'm sure he would agree with that. But there's 5 laps of Kayla's mountain track with with 2 abilities on. Sorry, got to get my little cheat sheet here. Forgot to grab it. With Uncrashable as an ability, and Uncrashable, what that means, you can't crash into other riders or in corners. You also have Corner Caper as an ability, which means you don't slide out in the corners. You have your 2 supers tonight in this map. 1 Quantum Shift, which lets you phase through riders for 10 seconds. And then 1 Comeback Kid, which gives you 367 watts of extra power for 45 seconds or until you pass someone else. And so we're still doing this where Quantum Shift is not an ability, it is a super. So it's a lot more fun, a lot more work normally, but tonight with people on controller, it should not be too difficult. We do have in the stream with us, we have Daniel LeBlanc and Nigel Doyle. And they're going to be racing with us. And I know it might look a little different than we've had it set up. We had things, a little bit of technical issues in the earlier Omnium today, 10 seconds before the race starts. So we're going to see everyone in the gate pulling those triggers down. And we'll see how much power can be put down. Who has the tactics on this? This one's just gonna, since there's no wrecking, it's gonna be uncrashable. And I know Vanessa's in here on a controller for the first time, so it's gonna be fun to see how things go. She said earlier that she was expecting to crash a lot, but I believe in her. I think she's gonna be the dark horse in the Omnium. So we're gonna see how it goes. She gets in behind to get into the draft. There's Daniel's shoulder. Batista is also in here riding physically. Thank you for that reminder. I was going to say it, but the race started. Batista, sun shower normally in the chat. Always good to have in the chat. Now riding physically tonight. So good to have Batista in here. So up in first, we have Nigel and Frank and Vanessa. And Daniel moves to the outside here. But he might get on the back, try to get this draft and slingshot at the end, or just use the power up, use the super Comeback Kid. This is one that not really sure what's the best strategy to do. You might want to let someone go off the front and then use it. Batista back physically uses that Comeback Kid, get the extra power, get some extra speed and go. It's a little unfair with how fast these controller riders can go if you're riding physically, but it is good workout. Vanessa uses her Quantum Shift super to move to the front, gets into that lead position, but it's still going on. And that was really good timing. Nigel was almost able to come back through with that super activated, but it ran out just in time for Vanessa to keep that lead. But with the other riders still having their abilities or their super, they could use the same tactic We're going to see how it shakes out. But Vanessa still holds the lead. Nigel sitting in second, Frank behind, and then Daniel's off the back a little bit. But this may be a tactic he's using. He might just be, get off the back, get off of it, hold down the trigger, wait for the right time, and then use your comeback kid. So this could be a really smart play from Daniel. I may be giving away his tactics, so I apologize if this is what you're playing for. Now they know your secret, but it still could work. So we will see how this plays out. Vanessa is still in first, but it looks like Frank moved up to second, and Nigel is in third now. So Nigel's getting the most draft, but in this one, your legs don't feel it. You just feel that you don't feel it in your legs, but now Nigel drops off the back a little bit. So he has a little bit of draft here, but I think he's using, and Daniel on the back uses his quantum shift. I'm not sure if he meant to do that or if it's an accident. And then Frank uses his quantum shift to try to get in front of Vanessa, but is not able to. So it didn't work out for him. But now Daniel uses his comeback kid. So he might catch up here to Nigel at the end and go by him, but it looks like he used it a little too late. So Vanessa takes the first race, Frank in second, Nigel third, and Daniel fourth, and Batista rounding it out, pedaling. At the end, I know it's not fun to watch these other competitors go by so fast, but only about a minute behind, so should be able to finish this out. But there we go. Vanessa, I told you she was the dark horse in this one. We'll see once you can wreck how it goes, but she used her powers perfectly. She used that super perfectly, and that was an intense race. The next one, there's not going to be the ability, so there is going to be crashing. So we'll see how that goes with everyone. With the issues we have, there's not going to be able to be replays tonight, which is sad. But I want to go talk to Daniel just to see what was I right about the strategy, and did it just not play out, or what happened there?
Yeah, you were right about the strategy. I was going to try it out and see how it worked, and then when I pressed the wrong button, and it took me a while to realize, it was kind of blown, but maybe next time.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it would have worked. It was a good strategy, hang off the back a little bit and use it. But sometimes the wrong button. That's just how it goes. But still, three more maps to make up some points and higher multipliers here. So good luck on these next ones. So yeah, next up we have 5 laps of Saturn, a medium skill event, 2-time point multiplier. So the second highest point multiplier of the night. There's a bunch of supers available. Well, 2 supers available, but 3 uses of each. So you get 3 uncrashable uses for your super and 3 quantum shift uses. And so there are some points here with the little chicane and some parts where there's some tight corners, so if you use your uncrashable at the right time, you can get through a bunch and keep your speed very high. So that could be exciting. I know there are some points where people try to use it and wrecked. So we'll see how many wrecks we see on this one. I'm hoping for a lot. I know the riders are not hoping for a lot. I'm hoping everyone but Vanessa crashes a bunch. I believe in Vanessa's powers here. I believe in her ability. She's going to come through and take this race and then take the next. She's going to do a clean sweep tonight. That's what I'm saying. And I hope everyone else agrees because that's what's going to happen. Sunshower, thank you for the host. I saw you in riding physically. Hopefully you can come back for another one. Ride some more. I know it can be tough with how fast these controller riders are. It's tough to even want to keep your own pace with seeing them zoom by, but thanks for the host. Thanks for being in here all the time. We do appreciate you. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing great. Before you ask, if you do ask, I'm doing amazing. I'm excited for Saturday. We're going to be a captain for Saturday. Not tonight's point. No, you still got to just keep pushing. It'll be fun. It's fun. But no, I understand. But Saturday, I'm the captain now for Team Havoc. So we're coming for that from 5th place. We're coming for that 4th place spot. No, but should be a fun time. I'm excited for it. let's go talk to Nigel. How'd that first race go for you? Or you just kind of letting it go and worrying about these next ones more, or what happened there in that race?
Yeah, I'm on a controller now. I looked at everyone else. Oh, they're all on controllers. So I was going to do it on the keyboard, but I thought, well, I'm not going to finish some of the events in time. So I changed over to controller. I went to use the comeback kid. My strategy was just drop back a little bit behind the first couple of guys, then use comeback kid, and I pushed the button and nothing happened. So I don't know what went wrong there. So I couldn't catch up. So
We might have to look.
This race is
that
going to be
to
interesting.
figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So this is going to be interesting because you go, with the corners and crashing.
Yeah. Did you ride this earlier today?
On keyboard. I've been sick. I've worked sick today. I'm not well enough to ride my bike.
Oh,
I've only just got out of bed.
Well, hopefully
I should
you
be
start
okay
feeling
for
better.
Saturday's race. Yeah, no, I'm feeling better, but I'm not up to riding a bike today.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you on the map on Saturday. You're going down, so watch out. But good luck. Good luck today. Good luck in this one.
It's a long way.
Yep. All right. So we have, like I said, 5 laps, Saturn, medium skill, 2-time point multiplier. These races are going to be tough on riding physically on Saturday. So I'm going to try to get as many points as I can. But yeah, let's hope that Nigel starts feeling better. Not too much better. I don't want him to beat me too bad on Saturday. No, no, I hope he starts feeling better. We have about a minute before this race starts. But yeah, it's gonna be fun on Saturday. I see Frank in the chat saying that he would ride physically with Sunshower next time. So and thank you, Go Havoc. Yes, that's right. Can't wait for Saturday either. It's gonna be a fun day as long as I'm not quarantined. I want to leave the house on Saturday. That's how I have stuff planned. So I don't want to be quarantined in my house. But we'll see how that goes. 30 seconds before the next race starts. I'm still rooting. Who do you guys think is going to win this one? I know who FOG7 probably thinks is going to win. But I want to know what you guys think. Let's see some votes of who's going to win in the chat. I want to see some predictions. I already know my prediction. I'm voting Vanessa. Thank you, Mod KG. I'm getting old. But yeah, hopefully not quarantine on my birthday. But here we go. Out the gate, Vanessa's already in first. See, she knows. There we go. Sunshower agrees. It's going to be Vanessa. We have Dan. Everyone's on the Vanessa train. Let's go. Vanessa, you're going to do us proud, Vanessa. We believe in you. And Nigel goes down. It looks like he might have slid into someone. I'm not really sure what happened there. I did not see it. I was too worried about Vanessa's racing skills. But we have Daniel, Frank, and Vanessa up here in the front. Nigel couldn't find his way back because everyone up in the front could wreck. We do want to see some wrecks. We saw people once we get to this zone, everyone's kind of knows what they need to do. I guess not everyone wants Vanessa to win. But most of the people that are the important people want Vanessa to win. So that's all I'll say about that. But we have this group here of Frank, Daniel, and Vanessa. Daniel leading right now. Vanessa in third. She moves over a little bit, but and then Frank uses his quantum shift, I think, to get in front, and then and Vanessa goes down in that corner. And then they use their uncrashable here, which lasts for 10 seconds. And they get through those 2 corners. I think Daniel might have used another one, so he didn't wreck there. But he's still in first. So we have Daniel in first with his uncrashable on, and then Frank coming up behind. But Daniel's getting in a good spot here, but he didn't slow down in time. And Frank just takes his time here. And just says, I don't want to wreck in here. I'm going to let everyone else make mistakes now. And he seems to do this quite a bit. Daniel almost slides out there, but it's enough. It's 5 seconds back, so he can start laying the power down and then come back. Nigel can see Vanessa, uses his quantum shift and uncrashable to get through that little chicane, and now moves up. Vanessa sitting there putting the power down on that controller, holding the trigger. Frank says too easy in the chat. Now I really want him to wreck because that would be karma, I think, would be what that is. So Daniel's 5 seconds back. They're both just holding down that trigger. If need be, at some point I can do my own. I can act out a replay of what was happening in the races. I have a controller sitting next to me, so I could act it out. But we'll see. I think it's just going to come down to if the time is down to 4 seconds now. So Daniel's gaining on Frank a little bit here and there. But we just have to see. I think Frank still may have a little more. Maybe have one more super use of his uncrashable. So we'll have to see. But he comes into this corner and goes down. I don't know if he meant to use something, and now Daniel uses his uncrashable and passes by him. Now let's see what he does here. I don't know if he's going to try to slow down on this, or nope, he makes it through, just barely makes it through. And I don't know, Frank is crashing again. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if he was trying to type in chat and just wasn't paying attention, or maybe he wants to try to come back now that he's down. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I can't speculate, and he's not here to talk. But now Nigel can see him up in the distance. So we may see Nigel may go past him here, but there is this corner coming up. He uses his quantum shift and uncrashable as Frank tries to get a little bit of block there, and it doesn't quite work. So now Frank comes around this corner, and now, yep, got a thumbs up from Nigel. Good use of the power of the super to make sure that he did not get blocked. And now he's in second place. And we have Vanessa down in fourth. She wrecks on that little chicane. She tried to slow down, but I think she's just letting everyone else feel good about themselves before she comes in and dominates again. I believe in her. She's just letting everyone else get a taste of victory before she comes in. And Daniel moves over to the right here. This is a smart move. Oh, I thought he was going to stay there, but you can get that draft. And I think because they're lapped riders, you could go through them. So if you wanted to keep that draft to go even faster, you could have gone through them. But it is smart to get over in that lane and get the draft from those riders you're passing, especially in that position. There might be some parts where you can't get as much draft because of a turn coming up, so you don't want to get that much speed. But that was really smart to get over in that lane, get some extra speed from the draft there. But here Daniel comes into this turn, he slows down and doesn't go out, doesn't crash out. Nigel is 12 seconds behind, so Daniel has a pretty good lead. If he doesn't make any mistakes, he should be good. And he goes up. There's a little bit of a roundabout going up, and he makes it through without a wreck. So there's a part where you can just put the pedal down, and then it gets to, and Frank uses his, looks like he might have used his uncrashable a second late. I'm not sure what happened there. And Nigel goes down going up the little roundabout as well. So we have Nigel and Frank both went down, and Daniel is now 20 seconds up the road, coming into this little chicane right before the start finish line, and almost slides out there. But Nigel still has a 3-second lead on Frank for that second and third position there. And if everything finishes the way it is now, and Vanessa uses her uncrashable in a really good spot there, so she doesn't crash going up, she can make up some time. She's only 10 seconds back from Frank. So Frank and Nigel here are coming through, going real slow, taking their time, making sure they don't slide out into each other. And Nigel gets out, and now Frank has a little bit of draft here, so he shouldn't be too far off. Vanessa crashes again back there, but Daniel is almost 30 seconds ahead right now. So it's going to take Nigel and Frank may be able to work together to come back, and especially if he wrecks. But right now it looks like Daniel's running away with this one. Yeah, he's way out ahead. And I don't think he wants to look back. I think he might take things a little slower than just to be careful, just to make sure. He knows he has a big lead, so he might be able to just ride his race and just take things a little easier, not have to push it too hard, not have to take any chances and make the other riders take all the chances and make the mistakes. But here Frank's just staying on the back of Nigel. We'll see if they can make up the time. It's going to be difficult, like I said, if Daniel does not wreck. And it looks like Daniel's doing pretty good in this first corner, staying up. You see Nigel is in the zone, really pushing, really giving it his all here. Look at him. Yeah, I want to see a victory. I want to see that victory dance with the controller. Hopefully we can see one of those tonight. But Daniel makes it through up on the front, and now Frank uses his uncrashable and quantum shift here to make it through. And then he's coming up this roundabout, this little lift, and the uncrashable looks like runs out right at the end. So if you have top speed, you can make it through both those corners if you time it right. But Daniel goes down right at the chicane right before the start finish line. But he still has a big lead. So he still has almost 20 seconds ahead of Frank, and Frank has to slow down a little bit to go through this chicane. And I think this will be the last lap for Daniel as he crosses the start finish line. Daniel is killing this. He did wreck there, but now Nigel uses his uncrashable and quantum shift to make through that chicane, going much faster, almost 10 kilometers per hour faster than Frank. So he might be able to catch back up here. He sees him up in the distance. Good timing on that. That's a good space to use it. Vanessa does the same thing with her uncrashable in the chicane and pushes out. And now she's only 20 seconds back. And Daniel has a 12-second lead on Frank. And Frank's 2 seconds ahead of Nigel. So Nigel can see him right up the road. He's just right there. And we'll see if he's able to catch him, or if someone makes a mistake, because one more mistake could change everything. We don't know how this is going to end up, how this is going to finish. But we do see some, there could be more wrecks. That's what we like to see. We've been seeing some wrecks tonight. Only four riders, but we see a lot of wrecks. It looks like Nigel's hand is cramping up there, holding that trigger down. He had to switch hands for a little bit, which I have done before, riding multiple laps on Barnyard Velo, which is a highly contested map between Victor and I. And I'm trying to take my number one spot back, but Daniel's still up on the front. I think he's still taking his time, making sure he doesn't make any mistakes. Frank's doing the same thing, just going through the corner, slow and steady. Go slow to go fast in certain spots on this track, on this map. And I don't know. I feel like Daniel may have some of his supers left, but I'm not sure. It's hard to keep track when there's so many supers available. It's hard to keep track of who has what and how much is left. But we'll see. It looks like he's slowing down in the corner here. And I think if he just takes his time, really slows down, make sure he doesn't slide out. He has 100 meters left to go, and Daniel will he uses his one super he had left was a quantum shift, so he uses it for us at the end there. Thank you for that. And so he takes first, which puts him number one overall in the Omnium. And then if Frank finishes second, which it looks like he will after Nigel crashes there in the chicane, Frank is in second, Vanessa in third, and Nigel in fourth there. Let's talk to Daniel. Daniel, you raced that really well. I think I only saw 2 wrecks from you. What was your strategy going into that race?
The strategy was basically go a little bit slower off the start, get in the draft of one of the other riders while quantum shift was still on, just to pick up a bit of speed, and then just get back onto the front when everything turned off, and then just ride from the front so no one could break or slide into me too much, and then just kind of try and hang on to it and go from there. And then Frank wrecked a couple of times.
That is true. I saw you wreck on the second to last lap. Was it just cooking it too hard into the chicane, or what happened there?
Yeah, I was kind of trying to see. I had a big gap, so I was trying to see how fast I could possibly take it. And then I got a little nervous, so I tapped the brake button a little bit, which changed my corner speed, and it just tipped over. If I would have left it and not pushed anything, I probably would have coasted through all right. So at least I know for next time.
Yep, at least and it didn't cost you anything in the in the end result. So it worked out. And this one should be a fun one. Another uncrashable as an ability race. So I think Vanessa is going to be the one to watch here again after that one. But good luck in this one. We will see how everything shakes out after the next 2 maps. So yeah, coming up, we have 3 laps of Cityscape, New York City, medium skill event, 2 time point multiplier. So the same multiplier as the previous one, second highest for the night. So there's 2 at the second highest. An ability, Uncrashable as an ability, no supers available other than that. So we just have Uncrashable as an ability, but there is a 4 km/h wind heading south. It's a southward wind, which if you're at the start finish line, it's facing, you're going into the wind, which is really, that's just cruel. Because if you think about when this is going to be raced on the World Cup, there's 3 laps of this, but you just get done riding 5 laps of Saturn. That's a pretty long race right there when you're riding physically. And then you come in and the first thing they do is say, oh yeah, you're on the start line. You're going to have to ride straight into the wind. So that's kind of cruel. But you do have, coming back, you'll have the wind at your back to help you a little bit. But for almost half of it, you're going to be going into the wind. So I think we're going to see that long line of people just in a straight line, long line of everyone trying to get as much draft as possible as they can from the person in front. So that'll be fun to see. But sadly, Vanessa did not win that last race, but I think I still believe in her chances for the overall Omnium. You just ads, you missed 15 seconds of the map. Sorry, Truth. I apologize. Next time I'll try to do the ad myself. I'll do some ad reads here. But you missed a good race. There was some wrecks. There was some fun. It is what it is. We have 2 minutes and 40 seconds before the next race starts. So let's go talk to Nigel. Do you have any strategies for this track coming up? I know it's uncrashable, but is there anything you're looking for or testing for this weekend, or what's going through your head right now?
Oh, this is just with Uncrashable. It's just a matter of staying in the draft, and when you ride, if you were riding physical, it'll be all about staying in the draft as much as you can, and stay with the front pack. And as you say, it's sort of straight up and down. So you're either got it behind you, or you're going into it and just there'll be a crosswind. So that could be interesting to see where the best position is when it's a crosswind. Whether you do an echelon or you stay behind.
Yeah, no, that is true. It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out when the physical riding happens. Only 2 days until that. Are you excited for the racing?
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, at my team Velocity, we won last weekend, so we're all on a bit of a high. We've been getting better all the time, and we always thought if we could all put together a good performance without making mistakes, we could do pretty well.
Last week's performance was last week's performance was very dominant, especially the 1, 2, 3. I think there was a 1, 2, 3 finish, and everyone raced really well as a team. So you guys really destroyed it. Showed a cycling hub who thought they were the dominant ones, and people are starting to show up against them. So we'll see if that trend continues with other teams winning, or if cycling hub tries to take back their spot. But good luck in this one, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think the first 2 weeks were won by Team Cycling Hub in the World Cup, which is every Saturday, and then the third week was won by Cognition, and then last week was won by Team Velocity. So there's been different teams winning. It's not just one team dominating anymore. And now that team, I think they're going to start to feel the pressure. So we'll see how they react to it. Maybe they like the pressure. Who knows? But Dark Horse, Team Havoc, that's who I'm going for. No reason why. I just like them. But everyone's on the start line. Hard. Truth. Just pull for the team that's gotten fifth place every single week to win one. You know what I mean? Root for the underdogs. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say why I want you to root for the underdogs, but here we have Nigel out in front, Daniel in second. I can't tell. I think Vanessa is in third and Frank in fourth here. I'm not biased at all in who I want to win, but so there is the uncrash possibility, so they don't have to worry about crashing. You can kind of stay in your lines. Daniel is. They're all just pulling. Everyone's kind of bumping, switching lanes, hitting each other, bouncing off each other. So I don't know. There may be some with the way the physics works. There may be. We don't know if there's going to be maybe an accidental block or something here with the way everyone's bumping. But right now, Vanessa is getting over to try to get in that draft. So there is a little bit. Everyone still has the. That's what. Hey, I'm captain this week for Havoc, and I heard they have a new captain this week, Havoc, and so they can flip it around this week. That's the. But Daniel is up in the lead right now. Vanessa is in second, and they're bumping through each other. Vanessa comes out. I don't know what's happening here. Everyone's bumping through each other. Everyone's just slamming into each other, trying to get into the draft, trying to make sure they don't get dropped off. But this could be anyone's race, especially everyone's just going max speed the whole time, trying to stay in the inside because it slides them out. But with Uncrashable, you can keep hitting and stay in that lane there, stay right in so you have the least amount of distance traveled. Hopefully you are home so you can watch it live. It'll be fun. You'll see me probably be dead halfway through, but I'm going to keep fighting and try to get as many points as possible for my team. But here we have Vanessa still in the front. There are no supers, so there's going to be nobody using their quantum shift to go through or do anything funky with any comeback kids. Not on this one. Nope, this one's just going to be, especially with physical, it's raw power. And yes, Truth, I did thank you for the kind words. Jesper sent me a message showing that, so I appreciate it. And we're trying to get better every week. We're working on everything, making sure it's enjoyable for the people that view from home. And I see that you comment on a lot of the YouTube videos, so it's good to have you active here in the community. It's always good to have you in the chat as well. So thank you. I hope you're having a great night, day, whatever it is for you. But I appreciate you being in here. So thank you. But now we have Nigel in the front, Vanessa right behind, and then Daniel and Frank are a little bit back. I think they might be close to getting the draft. I think Daniel might be right in the draft. So yeah, Daniel's getting probably a small percentage, but I can't tell. But he's letting Frank use him to slingshot, and then he's going to get into the draft from Frank. So that way they can catch back up. But Frank is not going over to get into the draft. Now he is to get into the draft behind Nigel and Vanessa. So Daniel and Frank may have to work a little bit. They might just be out of reach. So they might have to work together a little bit here to get into this draft and not fall off the back from Vanessa and Nigel. They can make up a little time. It looks like Daniel's getting slingshot here. So he's just got to get over there. He's probably getting the draft from Nigel now. And then Frank can get in front of him. But we'll see what happens here. They're still a little bit off the back. They're still a second off. Hopefully they can get into this draft, because if they don't, it's going to be difficult. They need to get into that draft, because then it'll catch them back up. But right now they're just off the back by a little bit. The riders in the front could probably work together to slingshot each other to get up even further. But when you're on the front, you're not normally worried about that. But I think they're just. Wait, no, they might be in that draft. It looks like they're catching back up. They have a little bit of a higher speed, but they're still a little bit off the back. So I don't know if they're getting the draft that they want to be getting right now. But the two riders up front are riding side by side, so they're not helping each other at all. So we'll see if that changes coming up. But it looks like Daniel and Frank are just riding side by side as well. But Daniel is catching back up. It's 1 second, but you can see him just right there. He sees them up the road, and he gets over, so Frank can slingshot, and definitely Frank will be in that draft with that speed that he has going into it, he should be able to get into the draft here. And if Daniel can stay close behind him, but Daniel might have lost. They're starting to get a little bit of a gap between Daniel and Frank. So Frank is not even a second behind Vanessa and Nigel now, but Daniel is a second behind Frank. And it doesn't look like Frank is really catching up that much onto Nigel and Vanessa. And Nigel has the lead right now. We're almost halfway through the racing here. It's a long one. This is a long one. Imagine this physically. That's man, this is going to be a fun race. But Frank can see Nigel and Vanessa right up the road. And it's like, I think he's just out of the draft, or just has a very small percentage, and Daniel's falling off the back still. So Daniel's not able to catch up here. He's a little bit back. We'll see if anything happens on the front, any blocking or anything here. But now Vanessa's up on the front, and Frank definitely is in the draft of Nigel and Vanessa. I don't know what happened there, but Frank's in position, and now he's up with the top group. But Daniel helped him, and Daniel got left off the back. He can see him up the road, but maybe he'll get lucky, and with them bumping each other and with them slamming into each other, they might slow each other down, and then he can come back that way. It's just one of those that he's still got a lap that he can make up the time. It's rough on this one because of Uncrashable and because everyone just has the constant 1,435 equalized watts. So no one really has any advantage or any. It's just sometimes it's luck, but in this one, I think you just have to. It might be a timing thing or something. So, but we'll see if they bump each other, if they block each other, how it happens, how it shakes out. In truth, no super available on this, just the uncrashable ability, but no supers. So there's going to be no help for Daniel, which isn't good, but he still has the 2.5 time multiplier on the next race that he can make up some points. But we're gonna see how it goes. Everyone is fairly close on the scoreboard. And it's going to be, it's just one of those that anything happened by the last one. Looks like Nigel's trying to get his hands shaked out. Holding that trigger for an hour at a time is not too enjoyable of an experience. But here goes Vanessa with she tries to slingshot around to get in the front. And yeah, I know it would with that super, it would be good for Daniel to get back, but now Nigel has a little bit of a lead here on Frank and Vanessa. He may have enough of a gap that they're not getting much draft, but it looks like they might just be in the draft. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like their speed differential is changing that much. So Nigel might be up on the front here, and they might not be getting the draft for him. So Nigel could just hold this out and win, but they're coming up on the lapped riders, so there's going to be a little bit of draft, but everyone's going to get that. And because there's no crashing, they're not lined up at all, which is always good when you come to lapped riders and they're lined up, so you can get a bunch of draft from all of them going through. But he goes through Howard here. So do Vanessa and Frank, and then Daniel's still down the road a little bit. Trying to catch back up, and he's starting to gain some ground. Actually, they're barely up the road on him now. He's made up a little bit of ground, but I think it's just one of those that it's going to be difficult. But now Nigel is far enough ahead where I still don't believe that Vanessa or Frank are getting a draft, but they do have a little bit of a higher speed differential right now, 0.5 kilometer per hour faster. So they're catching up a little bit, but and there's less than 1 kilometer left to go, 800 meters. So we will see. Nigel just might have gotten everything to work in his favor. Yeah, he's off the front. I don't believe that Vanessa or Frank are getting a draft from him, especially now. He's a full second up the road. So I think with 500 meters left to go, we're going to see Nigel take this one home and move into first overall on the Omnium. And that puts him 5 points ahead of Frank and Vanessa, who are tied for second right now, depending on how this finishes. If Vanessa finishes in second and Frank finishes in third. But Frank may try to slingshot around with 100 meters left to go. Nigel comes around this last one. Frank goes off the back a little bit and gets right in front of Vanessa there. So we will see. Right now, it looks like, depending on how, I'm not sure how that finished. Okay, it looks like Frank and Vanessa are actually tied for second with 124 points. Nigel is 5 points ahead of them in first overall with 129, and then Daniel is 1 point behind them with 123 points in fourth place. So this last race could change a lot of things, especially with the multiplier. It could be fun. These are close. This could be good. Yeah, everyone has won a race except for Frank. So we're gonna see how sudden lane change goes, and maybe he'll that'll be the one he wins. He's just waiting for the highest multiplier to win a race. But I want to talk to Nigel. What I didn't really, I don't know if you know what happened there. How'd you get that 1 second lead, or how'd you get them out of your draft? Did it just they just bump each other and slow down, or how'd that work?
No idea. No idea. I just held the button down and just rode away a little bit. So who knows? I'll take the win.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. That works. I congrats on that win. You're 5 points ahead,
Yeah,
so good luck on this next one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think this is going to decide it.
Yeah, this is definitely the deciding factor. So you're gonna have to try to take the win on this one. Have you practiced this one?
Yes, but not on a game controller. I think this is very challenging on a controller because you go too fast. The corner speeds, it's just too fast.
That is true. That's a tough one. You have to know each corner. But good luck in this.
Yeah.
We'll see how everything shakes out. This one we have for the last map of the Omnium. We have 6 laps of sudden lane change. High skill event, highest multiplier of the night at 2.5 times multiplier. Bunch of supers on this one. 3 uses of Razor's Edge, which we're gonna see how that works. Because with the corners on this, you can wreck. So someone may wreck out in a corner here. Hey Luis, we do have controllers going on tonight. Hopefully your night's going well. Yes, we have controllers open racing, practicing the events for Saturday. So we're on the last one. There's 1 corner caper super and 3 quantum shifts available for this one. The Razor's Edge ability makes you as tall and thin as a razor for, I can't remember, I'm trying to remember the time. I knew it was 10 seconds. I thought it was 10. I was going to say 10, but I wanted to check and make sure. Yeah, Batista Sunshower was here racing physically earlier. We have Vanessa on a controller tonight. And, oh, wait, I just got word that apparently Vanessa's finger hurts from holding down the trigger. But we've had 3 different winners. There's four controller racers, and we've had 3 different winners tonight for each race. So this last one, with how close the points are, it's gonna really determine how everything goes. So we will see with 3 minutes left until the next race. It's gonna be fun. I think everyone's gonna be happy to get onto this map after those two grueling races on riding physically, to come into this and know that it's more of a cadence map and less of a power. But I don't know. I'm hoping to see some more wrecks tonight. How many wrecks do you think we're gonna get in this chat? Do you think we're gonna get I don't know. I think we're gonna get a lot. I see Frank here stopping at the start-finish line, using a power up and going through. I think Frank wants to take this one. I believe. I feel like if whoever takes this last one may take the overall. So this is really comes down to this one. We see 7 wrecks, lots of wrecks. We'll see how it goes. It's gonna be fun. That's all I know. Let's go talk to Daniel a little bit with 2 minutes left. Daniel, have you practiced this map at all? And are you prepared to try to take the Omnium on this last map?
I think I'm mostly prepared. I've been horsing around with it on controller for a while earlier today, but we'll see how it goes. I think someone downstairs has started up their Netflix or something, so it's going to be a little more challenging. I'm getting a little bit of slowdown. So
No, you need to get your house in order. Tell them to get off, turn off everyone else's internet, and it's yours for Tuesday and Thursday night. It's all yours.
that's usually why I like racing at 10 o'clock at night. No one can interfere. But
Yeah, that's fair, but hopefully the slowdown doesn't affect you too much, and you can hold your own and see how this last one turns out, who takes it. But good luck. I know there's a minute left, so I'll let you get these corner speeds down a little bit. Don't want to take your focus away too much, but good luck. Again, this is the last race. There, from first to fourth, there's 6 points that separates first and fourth place. So this really does come down to whoever wins this will take it, I believe, because the 2.5 time point multiplier means more than, well, I don't want to do the math in my head, but it's over 8 points from first to second. So whoever takes it will win. That's all you need to know. That's it. I'm not going to try to do Jesper math in my head. I haven't taken that course yet. So I have some notes. I'm prepared to take it 10 seconds before the race starts. We're going to see who uses what abilities first. If anyone's going to try to, we're just going to see what happens, because I feel like there's going to be some wrecks coming on here. Frank uses his Quantum Shift and Razor's Edge right at the beginning, and Daniel uses a corner caper right behind him. Or no, Nigel uses his corner caper, and so does Frank. So they get through really fast. Vanessa goes down that first corner. Daniel keeps his corner speeds. Nigel goes out, and Frank's up off the front. Daniel goes down as well. So now Frank's only used one Razor's Edge, one corner caper, and one Quantum Shift. So he still has 2 Quantum Shifts and 2 Razor's Edge abilities. 4 times 4 is 12. That is just for math. That is true. But we have Frank on the front, who may be taking it. Oh, Nigel is trying to take it a little hard. Not sure what happened there. But he goes down, looks disappointed. Ooh, Daniel uses his corner caper and his Razor's Edge to make up some speed here. He's gaining on Frank, and I don't know what happened there. But he goes down, and Frank uses Razor's Edge as well. Frank has a 20-second lead on second place right now, but Nigel is going to try to come back. The only issue, and this is something that's not even just a controller thing, but it happens physically as well, is when you're trying to come back, you make more mistakes because you're really trying to push the corners, push the edge, go as hard as you can. But now Frank's in a position where he doesn't really have to push it that hard. All he has to do is race his own race. I think he did this last week as well, where he didn't win that many of like the first few events, but then the highly technical ones, he comes in, he gets out in front, gets to the spot that he wants to be. Daniel crashes back again. So second and third have just been crashing over and over, and Frank's just racing his race, not pushing it too hard, making everyone else make the mistakes. And I think when we saw that last week as well, it was kind of funny because we saw I think it was Dark Matter Velo, where he was not even in the straightaways. He wasn't even pulling the trigger any harder. He's just staying at a certain speed, not even trying to speed up at all, and no one caught up to him because everyone was trying their hardest and crashing in every single corner. So it looks like he's taken a similar approach. These straightaways are a little longer, so you can take them a little harder than you would on DMV, but he's slowing down a little early. He still has almost a 30-second lead on second place. So it looks like Frank's going to win this one unless he makes a bunch of mistakes. But I don't think he's going to. I think he knows what he needs to do, and he's going to take his time and make sure that he doesn't make those mistakes. He's not even trying to push it in the corners. He's letting everyone else do their thing. Everyone else push as hard as they can. If they want to try to cut everything close and make it back to him, they can, but I don't think he's too worried. 30-second lead for him. Frank's good at all the fantasy maps. That's true. He's good. He is good at the fantasy maps. But I think that's Frank's races tonight. He was just consistent. Didn't win any of the first 3 tracks, but it looks like he's going to win the highest multiplier, and he stayed second or third in the first 3. So he took more points each race than getting fourth. You know, he was taking a little bit more points, chipping away, and that put him in a good position here where all he had to do is win. But this was anyone's Omnium to win just based on this one. But the first mistake, and with Frank not making one, it's hard to do anything if the person you're racing doesn't make a mistake and you do, especially with the amount of power and how these races work. But Nigel is in second. He has 8 seconds on Daniel. So Daniel may try to come back here, and Vanessa is 6 seconds behind Daniel right now. So we'll see if anything changes in those positionings, if anyone's trying to really make it back, or, you know, maybe they gave up because the lead was so large. But I don't think Frank's going to give this up. Daniel goes down again, so Vanessa may be able to come around here and take the third position on this map. But it looks like she's making sure she doesn't want to push too hard and wreck as well. But there's 1 kilometer left here for Frank as he comes around this corner. So he's on the home stretch. You know, he sees the end goal in sight, and he's still just taking his time. You know, not pushing too hard. We'll see if he continues this or if he's going to make a mistake. But I think even if he makes if he wrecked 2 times, I think he'd still be able to take this. So I don't think he's too worried. Daniel goes down again. So we'll see if Vanessa can pass. They're side by side for this 3rd and 4th place spot. Vanessa uses her Razor's Edge and her corner caper to get around to gain some speed, and now she's not pushing it too hard in this straightaway. I think she just doesn't want to slow down too much here, and she gets through. I think she's just going to wait and see if Daniel makes another mistake and try to pass again. But Frank here with 400 meters left. Nigel uses his corner, or his one of his Razor's Edge and his quantum shift, and Daniel goes down again. So now Vanessa is 5 seconds ahead of Daniel, and I think they have 1 lap left to go. But Frank has 200 meters left. He's got a big lead out here. Luis says, "Go, Vanessa." So you got the chat cheering you on. I think Frank's coming into this last corner. He's not even worried about it, just letting it go through, pushing through, sees the start finish line, and takes the win, takes the overall Omnium. And there you go. Every single person won a race tonight. There's 4 people up, 4 people won a race. So everyone got some glory. But Frank took the highest multiplier and takes the event. So I don't know if I've seen that before, where each person got a win, and on controller it seems like it's less likely, but that was exciting stuff. We're not gonna have replays, which is sad. I can act it out, but Nigel here crosses the finish line. So Nigel takes second in the overall Omnium, and then Daniel is back in front of Vanessa here, and is going to cross over and then gets third, and then Vanessa takes fourth. I was rooting for Vanessa. I thought she had it. Next time she's going to do a lot of practice here, and the next time she's going to come in and she's going to beat everyone. So everyone needs to watch out for her. If you want a replay of what happened in the earlier ones, because we normally show replays, and we would talk to Frank as he won, but this is what happened. And then they went forward, and then someone won the race. So that's how it went down. Let's go talk to Nigel there, and I didn't see how how things worked out at the beginning there. Did you just cook it too hard in the corner, or what happened there? Oh no, I can't hear.
Oh, are you there?
There you go. Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
I can hear you
I
now.
thought I could go a little bit longer with the corner caper, and I couldn't. And once you crash, you sort of start crashing a few more times. I ended up slowing down you know, I was going hard, and then I found I was going better by using less power with the controller.
Yep. This is one of those go slow to go fast, but you got second place
Yeah, that's
in
right.
the overall, and
Yeah,
you took
yeah, well,
you took a win.
yeah, well done, Frank. Yeah, so he's obviously practices a bit on the controller.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I think he probably practices now because we talked a lot of trash to him in the last few weeks over how bad he was at it. So,
Hey, but I think there was only about 8 points or 5 points in it. I should get 10 bonus points for my T-shirt.
that's true. We'll talk to the race council and we'll see if we can get you some
Yeah.
bonus points for that. But no, it was good to have you in stream tonight. Good luck again
Yeah,
on
thank you.
Saturday. So let's go talk to the other person we have in here. We only had 2 people in with us. Let's go talk if Daniel's still in here. Just want to see what his thoughts were on that last race. You got third. I saw you wrecked a little bit. Were you just trying to figure out what you could do after you were a little bit behind, or you know, how'd that go for you?
I was kind of lagging out pretty hard, so sometimes my speed would stick and I wouldn't know exactly how fast I'm going, and sometimes it would just jump around a little bit on me. So I was basically doing most of the race by memory and looking at the mini map to guess what lane I was in. So that made it a little extra challenging. And then every now and then it would catch up on me, so I could go hard for a lap or two, and then it would slow down and I would wreck. So it was pretty much just luck that I even made it to the finish line.
Well, yeah, you did pretty well for all of those things working against you. So congrats on that. You also got a win on one of the maps. So I think it was kind of cool. Everyone split, but you know, it's fun having you in here as well. I'm glad that people are coming in and riding controller. So good luck also on Saturday if you're racing. You know, I'll be racing against you, so you're going down as well. But
just take it easy on me, please.
I don't know. I'm captain, so we're gonna push as hard as we can. But no, good luck. Thanks for being in the stream and racing tonight. So yeah, we don't have replays to show. You're just gonna get to see my face for the end. I showed you the replay. This is what it was. They, you know, pulled the trigger and they went. But we have the World Cup events coming this Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know how that translates to other times. It's Zone K for us. So if you know what Zone K is, be there, watch it. It'll be fun. It's always incredible. Everyone, there's so many racers in. You get a big line of people in pelotons, and it's a blast to watch and be a part of. It's always fun to race. But until then, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.